Hey there, guys. It's 9 o'clock Sunday evening, and I'm just chilling. I ran a hot tub, and I I put in a little bit too much. Well, not too much bubble bath, but like with a hot tub, what it does is the jets cause the bubbles to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was running it while I was upstairs, and I got back here, and it's like huge. I've got mountains of bubbles, which kind of reminds me of when my daughter was little. We used to get in and do hot tub night, and did it with my ex-wife too. We'd all get in together and do hot tub night, and we'd put these bubbles, make the bubbles huge, and it was a blast. My daughter would have a good time. She's probably like 5 or 6 when we probably did that. So it's hot. So it's hot tub bubble night. Hot tub bubble night. Anyway, so I'm here, and I'm just relaxing. I'm tired. Had a really busy week looking for boats. Busy on Airbnb, booking people for the summer. So, and trying to find a boat or a place to live for the summer, or else we'll be in a tent in the backyard or at a hotel or something. Because I'll have to be out of here because I have people coming. So it's very exciting. So much change going on. I've got to get so much stuff done, like nothing major in the house, but just, other than that hole in the ceiling that I need to get fixed now, which anybody who's followed me knows about that. I had leaking ceiling. I have a deck, which is above a flat roof, and the roof is above my master bedroom, and it started to leak. It's been a while, probably for most of the winter, and it's just been so cold. You can't really do anything. You can't find leaks when it's always raining. So it stopped raining, finally, and I opened it up, and I found out where the leak is. And I think the simplest fix, which I probably should have done a long time ago, was to clean the gutter, because the water was backing up. But it's still an issue because regardless of whether the water was backing up or not, I think the house settled. And so the angle at which the flat roof, it shouldn't really be flat. It should be have an angle to it, sloping away from the house, and it doesn't. So it puddles water right by the house. Sure, there's a membrane there, but I just don't trust it. So I'm probably going to have that fixed. So that's the big thing. Anyway, the rest of it's little stuff I can mostly fix myself with the time and things. And, yeah. So, but I was tired today. I had my, Easter dinner. Easter's never been a really big thing for us. I'm not very religious in that standpoint. I'm very, very spiritual, but not like I don't follow any particular Christian religion or Muslim or anything like that. I kind of feel like I don't need to. And all the religions are made up by man anyway, and they all get to the same place. If you look at all of them, they all have the same similarities, and they may have different prophets and some different things about them and different ideals, but they all are so similar, and yet we've spent centuries fighting over religion. So, yeah, I don't espouse to religion. I follow my own religion, which is just love myself, love the world. Real simple. But I still, my dad, it's funny, he doesn't really go to church. I don't ever remember him going to church, but on like these high holidays, he does religious things, like he says grace and stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever works, Dad. And it's no different than we should be saying grace or meditating every single day of our lives. But anyway, so that was kind of my day. I had some good vegetables and a little bit of chicken. I haven't had chicken in a long time. He likes chicken, so he brought over chicken. And we both fell asleep and took a nap like father and son. And it's funny because I remember when I was younger, on a Sunday afternoon, he'd be watching, I don't know, golf or probably golf, or I don't think, no, not football this time of year, but or football or basketball or whatever, and he would he'd pass out. He'd pass out on the chair. He'd fall asleep, and I just remember that, and I'd always wake him up. Dad, you sleeping? No, no, no. I was just resting my eyes. So we were just resting our eyes today. I was passed out on the couch, and he was passed out in the chair. It was a good bonding day. My dad's great. I love my dad. He's awesome. And we did some karate bonding. Talked about some kata and things like that because we're both in the same dojo. We both follow the same style of karate. I actually got him into it, and I gave him, when I first started, I gave him a I think it's probably a birthday present or Christmas present of 6 weeks of free karate or with the uniform or something. And I knew he's a former Marine. I knew he'd just love it, and he did. He just loved it, and he stuck with it, and he's been with it, and he's followed me up. We've tested twice together, first degree and second degree black belt so far, and it was awesome. And then my daughter, she actually started before I started, and she got into it because of my I guess my ex-in-laws, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law. They have 2 kids, and they were into it. And my ex-sister-in-law, let's just say sister-in-law, say the ex all the time. She would take the kids, and then Mia, my daughter, would tag along, and she would go because she would babysit a lot. And then Mia would come home, and she'd be doing these karate moves, and I'd be looking at her, and she'd be like, do you want to do karate? No, I don't want to do karate. Sure you don't want to do karate? No, I don't want to do karate. Finally, we just signed her up. And then I went to the adult class, checked that out, and I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this is for me. So I ended up doing that. As well as her starting class as well. So we kind of progressed together, and she got her first degree black belt when I got, maybe a year after, I think, she got her first degree. But anyway, so we have 3 generations of black belts, which is really, really cool. And black belts, it's not all about the punching and the kicking and the, and the destruction and the hurt. It can be about a lifestyle. It's especially in the Japanese tradition. It's about a lifestyle. It's about becoming. I forget how it's termed. Not becoming the one. That's from my coaching. But it's a similar thing. Just becoming. Just living. I think they call it living the martial way, and it's just a style of life with honor, love, protection. Because it's funny, before I started karate, I think a lot of people, it's glamorized in Hollywood. And we believe that it's all about, Jackie Chan and Bruce, and not, I was going to say Bruce Willis, not Bruce Willis, not Bruce Springsteen either. Jesus. It's bugging me. Bruce. I did this last time too. I can't think of his name. Anyway, the great Kung Fu guy. Everybody knows who he is. And I'm messing up his name. I do that. I did it last time I was talking about him too, but I do talk about him because he's really cool. And he had a style about him and a lifestyle. But the on-screen persona of these karate movies, and I call them spaghetti karate movies, even though that was not really, this spaghetti westerns, but I'll call them spaghetti karate movies because that's kind of what they are, or kung fu movies. The power or the peace that you find in the martial arts is due to a confidence that you get to. I'm getting there. Sometimes I'm there and sometimes I'm not. But you come to a confidence of where you realize that nothing can hurt you. And it's not an arrogance. It's not an arrogance like, oh, nothing can hurt me, and I'm top dog, and I can do whatever I want, and I got the chip on my shoulder. No, it's just if I had to, I would deal with the situation, whatever it is. I'm not saying I wouldn't get hurt, wouldn't get cut, wouldn't get shot. I don't know, but I would deal with it, and I'm not afraid of it, like enough to like. I don't know. It sounds arrogant, but it's not. It's a confidence, and I'm not quite there. But many of the guys, the senseis that I respect, including mine, they have this, and you can feel it in their presence when they're out and about. They just have an aura to them, and they don't have to fight because no one's going to mess with them. Not because they look like some of them look like the toughest guys, but a lot of them don't. Some of them don't look like the toughest guys. Like my sensei from North Carolina, Sensei Perry, I've never met the gentleman, but he sounds amazing. I'd love to meet him. But Sensei describes him as like, he's a small guy. He's thin. I've seen videos of him. He's like 5'4", or 5'3", or something like that. Thin, old guy. He's, older gentleman. I think he's in his 80s now. But my sensei says, he can just devastate you. And if you wanted to. But yet he's the kindest, most gentlest, nicest man you could meet. I've heard interviews of him, and he sounds like just a sweetheart guy. Unless you're training with him. Unless you're Hizuke, I've heard. But the idea is that, what is the idea? The idea is that to find peace in your life, in society, everywhere, there has to be a power in you. A power of you're not afraid. There's a difference between danger, I've talked about this before, danger and fear. Fear is a construct made up in our mind, and it's a story. Danger is different. Danger is actually a real life situation where you are in some type of peril. It's in the present. You are in a dangerous situation. Versus, you hear the present tense, versus I fear being in a dangerous situation. I fear jumping out of an airplane. I fear scuba diving. I fear public speaking. I fear whatever it is. That's all made up in your mind. It only exists because you believe it. If you change your story about it, then it's going to disappear. And we do that through processing and integrating identities is the way that I've been learning about it. I'm sure there are other ways too. And it's all tied together. So it's just like the martial arts guys, there's hundreds and hundreds of different styles of martial arts. And then within those styles, there's different sub-styles. It's because everybody has their own little different way that they want to teach it, or they interpret it, or whatever. It's the same thing with what I'm doing, or with what another coach is doing. We all get to the same end if we are good at what we do, and we teach what is necessary, and you learn what you need to learn, and you practice. But we all teach it in a different way. It comes down to energy. It all comes down to energy. All comes down to energy, no matter what it is. And actually, this is a good tie-in. I wasn't thinking about this, but this is a good tie-in to religion, because what I said at the beginning is religion. There's only one God, or whatever you want to call him or her or it or whatever. I'm just using God because it's a recognizable noun. Noun. Or God could be multiplicity. What is there? There's only one. Well, I don't know. That might even just be. But there's only one. What's the best way to describe this? Because many religions believe in multiple gods. They believe in multiple deities, multiple deities. And they're all right, I guess is what I'm saying. They are all right. They're all on the same path. They just get there by a different way. If they don't stray off too far and get too pious about what they're doing, and my religion's a better religion than your religion, which is childish, and it's been going on for thousands of years with wars and things like that. It's adults being children. If the people were to recognize that all religions are the same, they're all the same. They're just different flavors of the same thing, like ice cream. Okay, like ice cream. Ice cream is ice cream. There's chocolate ice cream. There's vanilla ice cream. There's strawberry ice cream. There's mocha latte ice cream. There's bacon ice cream. That's for somebody I know. There's shrimp ice cream, probably. There's pizza ice cream. There's a lot of sugar in ice cream. There's not so much sugar in ice cream. But it's all in essence ice cream. But all the different flavors that everybody likes, and I don't particularly like strawberry, so I won't have strawberry ice cream. I love chocolate. Love, 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 love chocolate. Any kind of chocolate. Dark chocolate, deep chocolate, chocolate. So I'm a chocolate guy. Same thing with a religion. You can be a Buddha guy. I believe in Buddha. I believe in Buddhism. And so ice cream is the universe, our existence, our spirituality. And, Buddha is an ice cream. Or Christianity is an ice cream. So if you think of it that way, so that ties into the martial arts, back to the martial arts, because we're all getting to the same place. We're just following different routes. And where I feel that the martial arts are taking me, and where I've seen people who are in it longer than it's taking me to a place of peace. Peace and confidence. And you can't have peace without confidence. I never understood that before. I thought peace was hiding, being afraid, not going out and doing things because that was peaceful, it was quiet. But no, it's being who you are, representing who you are, your thoughts, your likes, your feelings, whatever it is, and just being comfortable in your own skin. And the martial arts is huge in helping you get there. It has been for me. And so is the coaching that I'm doing. They tie in so well together, especially the body aspect of martial arts. Because you do a kata hundreds and hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times eventually. Maybe I've done thousands of kata. I've been in this 8 years, maybe. And it becomes you. It becomes part of your muscle memory. You don't have to think about it anymore. And when you get to that point, it becomes a habit. I talked about habits before. It becomes a habit. And once it becomes that habit, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's just there in you, for you, when you need it. You still have to practice. You still have to keep it fresh. But it becomes that habit. So it's a tool for you to use. And it's a tool in your tool belt for your confidence. Because you don't have to fear going in a bar. You don't have to fear being in a public place. You don't have to fear, public speaking. You don't have to fear all that stuff. You do have to be situationally aware. You do have to exercise prudent judgment. My sensei says, don't go out and do stupid things with stupid people. I think he says at stupid times or something like that. You do that, and you're going to get in trouble. You're just asking for trouble. But otherwise, you're going to be good. So that's that. Just continuing to sit here in my hot tub with I can see my ducky back there. I got my ducky. See if my ducky still lights. My ducky still lights. There it is. Rubber. I'm gonna go. I gotta break into it. I can't play music, guys, because if I play covers, I can't play covers when I'm on this, which sucks. Because I love to play music. I love to integrate music into my teachings, into what I learn, into having fun. But I can't because I keep getting kicked off, and the music gets blocked, and then you can't hear my voice, and then I'm just a pretty face, And I don't want to be just a pretty face. So I have to resort to doing my own songs. And one of them I remember from Sesame Street, which is Rubber Ducky. So here we go. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. And I don't know the rest of it, but I know the chorus. That's about it. So there's Ducky. He's a rubber ducky. And that's about it, what I have. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill out in the tub, and I kind of wish. Let's see, does Facebook put up a time for how long I'm on here? No, it doesn't. So I don't know how long I'm on here. So I could talk for hours, but I don't want to do that because it just becomes the same. Blah, 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 blah. So that's what I had, and the interesting thing is I didn't know what I had until I had it. And that ties in with what I talked about yesterday, which is you have to hear yourself. Let's listen to yourself. Feel yourself before anybody else is going to want to listen to you or hear you or hear your message or hear the wonderful, wonderful stuff you have to teach or share or whatever or create. Because people feel your energy. So it is your responsibility to feel your own energy, to feel your body, to feel the sensations in your body. Hot, cold, the breeze, shivers, shakes, uncomfortableness in your stomach, aches, pains, whatever it is. Feel it in your body. Recognize it. It has a message for you. It has a message for you. And by listening to your body, you can learn a lot. You will learn a lot. It's a great exercise. So I'll leave you with that. Do some body work tonight, tomorrow. Sit down, meditate. I'm not even going to use the word meditate because it just turns people off. It used to turn me off. Like, I'm not going to meditate. That's stupid. I don't want to meditate. Just like, I don't want to do yoga. That's dumb. They just sit in a place and they go, and boy, was I wrong. So I would just say, sit in a comfortable, quiet place and become aware of your thoughts. That's what meditation is. Just become aware of the thoughts that you have, recognizing them as they come about. And once you recognize them, then you have the power to say, oh, I don't want to think about that right now. And just let it go. Not like, I don't want to think about that. I will not. Not like the Lord of the Rings will, you shall not pass. You do that with your dreams or your thoughts. Here comes a thought about eating. Oh God, eating what don't I like? Oh, eating onions. Ew. Then you put up your staff and you go, you shall not pass. And then the onion separates and then everything's clear. No, it doesn't work that way. It sounds fun, right? It doesn't work that way. You allow the onion in. You allow the thought of the distasteful of the onion in, and then you recognize, ooh, I'm thinking about onions, and then you just let it go. Let it go. It's just that continuous awareness because you're never ever going to stop your thoughts ever. It's not possible. It's not possible. At least that I know of. I've tried. I know many people have tried, but you can't do it. It's part of you. It's a safety mechanism in you. Your body is programmed to always be looking around at things, always assessing the safety of your environment, what you're doing, what bad could happen to you all the time. It's a safety mechanism. This became really, this kicked me in the head a couple years ago when I was working with my coach. And he said that, and I was like, yeah, damn, I should have had a V8. He said that we are not predators. The only reason we're at the top of the food apex, is because we've learned to use tools. We've learned to manipulate our environment. That's the only reason. Otherwise, we'd be lunch for tigers and lions and bears. Oh my. Because we come from primates. Primates are not predators. They're social animals. They're in social groups for protection. They interact socially for protection to preserve the species. We do the same damn thing. And we need to recognize that we're not predators. So our thoughts are just in us. They may evolve out of us at some point, maybe. I don't know. Maybe someone's going to come up with a designer gene that you can plug in and take an injection, and whammo, you don't have your fearful thoughts anymore. Who knows? I hope I'm not around when that happens. But it could be our evolution. I don't know. But right now where we are, here in the present, recognize that there's nothing wrong with you. Your thoughts are not bad. I don't care if they're fearful thoughts, scary thoughts, anxious thoughts, angry thoughts, evil thoughts, whatever they are, they're not bad. And you have choice whether you want to recognize, whether you want to follow them, believe them. And based on what you believe is the experience that you're going to end up with. Period. Period. And I'm saying this from my experience, not just reading lots of books and studying it a lot, because I can read all the books I want, and if it doesn't relate to me and doesn't resonate with me, I will throw it out. I don't care what people say. But this resonates with me. I've seen it for decades. I just never understood it, but I've seen it for decades in my life. And it's taken me a long time to understand what it is. To understand what it is. And I have that wisdom. Just like my karate sensei has the wisdom to teach martial arts because he's been in martial arts karate for like 30 years. Or someone, can teach some other class or some other skill. I can teach you how to quiet the thoughts in your head, not be controlled by the thoughts in your head, which allows you to feel what you want, align it with your thoughts and your emotions, and then frickin' go for it. Go for it, no matter what happens. And there are going to be ups and downs. Things happen in life. You can't control life. All you can control is your reactions to life. Or you get to a point where they're not even reactions anymore. They're just choices because you no longer react. Most of the time. I'm not saying all the time. Nobody's perfect. Except when you're perfectly perfect. Which, that was another video. But you have that, you come to, whoops, I'm going to drop the phone. That wouldn't be good. You come to a place of choice instead of just reacting. Someone throws a punch at you. You'd probably react. I'd say you'd probably react so you don't get hit. That's a reaction thing. But someone throws an insult at you. Instead of just reacting like, oh, that hurt, and I'm going to them. No, you, recognize, oh, that doesn't hurt me anymore. That's just them. That's just their issue. And it's not even where you have to try to convince yourself of that. It's not a convincing thing that takes effort. It's just realization that I'm good. You guys can act the way you want to act and follow your life the way you want, and you want to insult me, that's great. Because the only reason you would believe or feel an insult is because you believe it yourself. If you don't believe it yourself, it's not going to affect you. I'll say that again. It's really, really critical. The only thing that hurts you ever is when you believe it's true. It's like an insult. Someone throws an insult at you. If you believe you have a big nose, my big nose, you have a crooked nose, your nose looks like Jimmy Durante, right? In the past, it really hurt me. In fact, when I was a kid, I can remember being called Big Nose. One kid tormented me relentless. Big nose, big nose, big nose, big nose. No, I don't care. Because I'm not self-conscious about my big nose anymore. My nose, it's part of my face. I can't change it. Unless maybe I got hit. I could get hit or something like that. I could maybe make it straight again. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about it. And if someone says negative things to me, like big nose, or I'm trying to think of something that's more relevant in my life now. Oh, here we go. You are a horrible father. You are a horrible father. That touches me. That touches me because that's someplace in my life currently. And if I had heard that, 5 years ago, when I was going through my divorce, I believed it myself because I was so out of congruence with what I was going through. I was so confused. I didn't have choice. I was just hanging on for the ride. And I was so conflicted with the choices that I was making back then. And I was so self-conscious that I was trying to be a good father. I was needing to be a good father for my daughter. I was needing. And therefore, the people that attacked me with those types of comments, it affected me because I believed it. I believed it at the time. That's the only reason it affected me. If I didn't believe it, it wouldn't have affected me. So now if you say that now, you're a horrible father. No, I'm not. I'm an amazing father. I brought up my daughter single-handed for the last, I don't know, since she was probably, 7, 8, maybe. Definitely after that. Totally on my own. A man bringing up a daughter, and I did an awesome job, and she's an amazing, amazing young woman. I'm very proud of her. She makes really good decisions. Part of that was in her anyway. Because with our children, we don't own our children. Sorry, guys, parents. The fastest way you're going to find torment and pain and suffering in your life is if you think you can control your children. From a longevity kind of growth type as they become teens and adults kind of thing. Sure, you can when they're younger. You control them for safety factors and you're trying to teach them. But once they realize who they are and it's no longer you and it's I'm a separate being, I'm my own self, I can choose to do what I want, you're not going to control them. No way. So that's how they are. So you can't control your children. All you can do is you can give them the best gifts you can. And sometimes those gifts are tough love. I practice tough love with my daughter. Sometimes I was a pushover, sure, as a dad, She had me wrapped. But when I needed to be, I practiced tough love. And so she is an amazing human being. I'm so proud of her. And she's off doing her own thing. She's exploring, making her own life. She's going to make her own mistakes. She's going to learn from those mistakes, I'm positive of. So I no longer feel that in my heart if someone were to say, you're a horrible father. You suck at a father. You did horrible with her. No, it's not true. Because I don't believe it. So that's why it doesn't touch me. So that's just an example of a real life situation for me right now. And it works the same with you. So I've probably been on here for a while now. And I rubbed my eyes, so I have soap in my eyes. So I'm going to rinse my eyes out. And I'm going to dry my tub with, my hot tub's going to turn on. I'm going to turn it on right now. Actually, maybe it's kind of loud. Yeah, I'll turn it on. Because it's not that loud. I'm going to throw on some tunes. And I'm going to do some karaoke and end the night with that. And just kind of chill out and relax. So if you guys have any questions, comments, ideas, you want to work with me, get in touch with me. I work with people. I will help you with your life's problems, whatever it is. Because the problems, we all have the same problems. We do. We're human. We all want to be loved, cared for, admire, give our greatest gifts. Bottom line, and a few other things, but we all want safety. It's universal. So everybody has a different flavor of that, but it all comes down to the same thing. It's finding fab. There we go. Finding fab. Right. So I have to, which is feeling, acting, and believing. With that, I'm signing off. Have a great night. Like me, heart me, and all that good stuff. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. My phone's not working. Bye-bye. Oh, my God. Oh, it is working. I don't know if it's working or not. It's doing something. I think because my fingers are wet. Make sure I do not aim the phone down. Okay. So here we go. Bye-bye.